Good morning, good afternoon. Today's Tuesday, November 21st, 2017, and we're doing the morning business headline commentary. Alright, look at the Wall Street Journal right now. It says the US is to sue to block the AT&T and Time Warner merger. As I've been commenting before, it's AT&T. And I remember saying that AT&T bought Singular, another mobile telephony company. The net effect of these recent mobile company mergers has the element of pushing the prices higher for cellular services and also hurting consumers and competition, because you're basically buying out competition that's like trying to lower prices through competition. So since it's AT&T, it naturally gets the scrutiny about things like that. And also the executive of the government has a beef with the media, including CNN, which is owned by one of these guys, Time Warner. So that's that, and it's a little bit of personal and vendetta, a little bit of that as well. The Zimbabwe situation, which has pushed Bitcoin to trade over $13,000 a unit locally in Zimbabwe, and it has a general net effect on other localities as well on a higher pricing of Bitcoin, because it's such a big difference of $13,000 a unit to around 8,500 a unit in other localities. Harvard is facing scrutiny and investigation over its emission practices of favoring unqualified minorities by lowering the standard of emissions for them. And it's well known already. They accepted a lot of unqualified crybabies that doesn't have the merits or the qualification. And it's well known in the industry. So, and it's well practiced. Since you have the law of affirmative action, as long as you have the affirmative action law, these things will happen. Unless you pass new laws to eliminate of these affirmative action laws, you still have that with top colleges lowering standards for unqualified minorities. I'm not saying minorities shouldn't go get like admissions. You just want to have qualified. There's smart minorities, guys, everywhere in the world. Okay. So like just like there's smart guys and not so smart guys. When I talk about women, I'm not dissing women as well. There's smart women, just like I say about guys. There's smart women and there's not so smart women. There's smart minorities, United States, coming from all over the world, and not so smart. The corrupt part of it is they're lowering the standard to admit non-qualified people. So there's always got to be a beef about that. All right. Okay, there's always new funds flowing to startups and cryptocurrency. That's well. All right, all right. Information technology, tech boom. That's sometimes have to be scrutinized for legitimacy of their ideas and implementation. All right. Look at that. Charlie Rose suspended after harassment allegations. All right. Eli Lilly bets big on insulin delivery devices. That's related to diabetes. Um, you know, um, there's from my perspective, there's new biological engineering where it's a mixture of inputting stem cells and drugs encouraging natural productions of insulin, or coaching, medical coaching of your body to produce your own insulin for certain circumstances. Of course, there's also like a share or demographic that needs good insulin delivery devices because they just don't can be coached. The bodies cannot be coached because they have suffered so long. But the advances in biological research has been very promising in terms of biological stem cells, genetic treatments, and so forth like that. So it's pretty bright in solving diabetes in the near future. The future is very bright for solving diabetes. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, Toshiba was like a selling part of itself to others, and same similar to Panasonic. They're trying to make a comeback and so forth like that. So you see, like I mentioned all the time, the false narrative to try to push the oil prices higher. Well, this is like some of the actual what's going on. They have a lot of stuff. The United States is producing a lot of energy, oil, gas, and all that, due to new technology that can drill sideways instead of the traditional vertical drilling. And they're able to drill a lot more due to these new technologies. And overall, with the introduction of adoption of hybrids and electric cars, the demand side is not pushing the prices higher there, and also the supply is getting more. So the real narrative is like the supply and demand curve is shifting the prices lower. All right, it seems like Asians are trying to scoop up the properties, in addition to New York City, you know, and some of them using like cryptocurrency to buy it. So this is the fight of fighting sanctuary cities that protect illegal immigrants that are working in these sanctuary cities. Here's the thing, right? These politicians that support sanctuary city, they don't live with these illegal immigrants. Somehow these like politicians claim the credit of being nice guys while pushing these illegal immigrants to other people's neighborhoods. And the other neighborhoods, local economies, the economies cannot support so many because they're known to be sanctuary cities by these politicians. So you pushes a glut of these illegals, taking out all the jobs, displacing local citizens of the United States, and these politicians are just getting credit and getting jobs, elected jobs, for pushing it onto other people. I will only agree with politicians that support sanctuary city if they live with these illegal immigrants in their homes. Okay, so it's a little bit far-fetched and disingenuous for politicians to try to protect non-citizens who don't vote, and just push it into other people's neighbor and claim credit for it. Okay, German turmoil threatens European Union overhaul. There's always conflicts of different parties taking over and stuff like that. The natural progression of democracy. U.S. to label North Korea as sponsor of terrorism. I think it's trying to find a diplomatic solution to control the increasing nuclear power of that regime. Zimbabwe's old president not willing to release his power, so they're gonna try to remove him by some form and spring turmoil into Zimbabwe and pushing the local Bitcoin pricing because they need to protect the value by the smart guys. Because like holding any currency in that country is just not worth anything. Okay, HSBC has been fined for many practices like before this that try to make illegal profits and so forth like that through like shady deals. All right, let's see the markets right now. All right, we see the crude oil trying to creep back a little bit after a big fall over $1 before, and the same narrative, or they're trying to convince using false narratives to push the prices higher for these various oil-related companies to make more profits. As I mentioned many times, like before the Bush wars in the early 2000s, like before the wars happened, nobody was complaining, even the oil companies, when crude oil was like $30, traded $30, around $30. Nobody was complaining before the Bush wars. So naturally, they experience these high pricing and high profits, and they just don't want to give that up. All right. So gold is going up $5, a little bit of a rebound, but overall, my position that nobody really cares for gold because it was like in the past, it was arbitrarily stated that gold has value. It was the same. It could be anything like spoons or utensils could have value if they all agree on it. Gold is just shiny, that's it, and it just says it has value. So, I mean, as more like our economies has modernized, where we value functionalities of technology, we find, we learn realistic values. Like we value phones that have good capability, and that's why they're pricing differently. So not the makeup of the phone. So gold right now, we have a modern economy that value other things, like more legitimate things, in terms of capabilities. And gold is just very shiny and doesn't have much capabilities to do anything, unless you have industrial usage. I do know gold is the least corrosive in space. So they have value in space building ships or vehicles. So that's that. But it's very limited compared to the whole industry and economy. Okay, US is still around 2.3%, 2.59%. FX, not much movement. So we do see Hang Seng making a big push into the 30,000 area, over 500 points. Yeah, so we're nearing 30,000, as I mentioned many times before, even before 24,000. So, as I mentioned, I'm here in the Asian trip, and, my commentary do affect things, and I'll be traveling soon again. So we do see maybe tomorrow, maybe reaching 30, hitting it, and maybe going back down a lot. And volatility, as I mentioned, would be part of it. All right, the Dow Jones going up again, regaining the losses over Friday. Over the the optimism of the economy, tax rework by the GOP, that would give certainty about the lowering, paying less tax and keeping more by everybody from companies, and repatriation efforts of foreign funds, and people in every class are able to keep more money and spend for the Christmas with more certainty. So that bodes well for the economy and every other economy. And it's also reaching the Christmas spirit. And, the celebration of the Christmas spirit is more happy around high pricing in the stocks in general terms. We got, I mean, with understanding of not too much instability or geopolitical events and so forth like that. All right, let's go to Bloomberg. Okay. All right, so see Mugabe in the headline again, and there's also like a crypto hedge fund founder, and releasing more optimism about the general pricing of Bitcoin to reach over 10K, while in Zimbabwe it's already over 13,000 already. All right, Tencent. All right, so a little competition with the tech firms. I do learn from people around in Hong Kong that Tencent is making a push into Hong Kong, establishing markets and offices in Hong Kong to reach international customers. Okay, HSBC fined a record $400 million for Lehman Link products. All right, Lehman Brothers is a financial crisis. That went belly up. All right, as you know, like China's there was discovered that had a lot of local debt. Um, yeah, so you have to learn to manage it and resolve it, and also prevent like local economies from further worsening situation and punish those that created the problem in the first place. All right, that's discussion of the NAFTA. Overall, I do understand the America First policy would be trying to return car manufacturing jobs back to the United States from Mexico. And that's good for the United States economy in a predictable future. Um, Megamines a little bit like that. Goldman's is ordered to pay, like tricking the clients with the money, typical stuff. All right, you see in New York City, they're gentrifying intensely and quickly of many neighborhoods in Brooklyn. It's slowly becoming to Canarsie, typical neighborhood, and Marine Park, kicking out, a lot of people that, don't have the means to live there because it's been like gentrified, meaning that they introducing high income people to bring the prices higher and so forth like that. All right, Hong Kong apartment sets new record prices is natural because they don't have a lot of land, and I did mention they need to test out new land filling technology to have a decent goal of doubling the size of Hong Kong. And I forgot to mention, if they're able to achieve the doubling the land size of Hong Kong, they have much more leverage in growing the economy. And when they're able to grow the economy, they have much more leverage in protecting the liberties. Because every government have to respect and businesses respect the local economies because they need to protect their tax base. That's where the government gets the money. And when you protect, have a larger economy, because you can build more businesses and towers with the larger land size, that naturally give you more leverage in protecting liberties as well, and business liberties as well. All right, says that Hong Kong beat Singapore and attracting, these are headlines and so forth like that. You know. So you do see like talking about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, things like that. All right, this is a very contentful, a lot of content today on Tuesday, November 21st, 2017, and we're doing the morning headline commentary. Something on note, I did recommend and feature Amazon last year in my videos. It listed below when it was like 500 and $600 a share. Now it's over $1,100 a share. I did feature McDonald's also in one of my videos last year, and right now McDonald's at an all-time high. Because of my expressed confidence in a new CEO that seems more relevant in his skills in producing good results for the burger chain. I did make a commentary about the future of a car business, where companies to survive they need to have a lineup of EVs and hybrids. And on that same Wednesday, there was a rapid response from Ford Motor Companies to my commentary, saying that they will, dedicate future resources into bigger cars, bigger trucks, in versions of EVs and hybrids. I did make commentary about having the United States tax rework, trying to make it in time for the Christmas spirit, where people would be have more certainty in spending for the Christmas. And yesterday, the executive of the U.S. government echoed the same sentiment in an office speech, in a meeting speech, that he's trying to ready the tax rework, ready to go before Christmas, echoing the same sentiment that I said in a couple hours before. Um, okay, and also more recently, the company called Funnimations became a takeover target after I featured Goku and Gohan of Dragon Ball, which is owned by Funimation. After I featured Goku and Gohan in my eating cooking demo video, some of them listed below as well. So as you can see, I do make sometimes very actionable, very profitable commentaries. And I do have followers, Indian followers, and also Chinese business followers. All right, today's again November 21st, Tuesday, 2017, and happy trading, everybody. And eventually, happy Thanksgiving in the United States in a couple of days.